Hi friends, this is Anna with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff. I'm here again on World Card Making Day for my second live video today. I have been posting challenges all day for you to participate in, and then if you share your projects that you're making along with us, share them in my Facebook group, you will be entered for some fun prizes. I'm going to leave the entries open until, I think I'm going to leave it open until Monday. That way, if you're busy today, you still have all of tomorrow, which is Sunday, to create. And then on Monday, I will announce the prize winners. So my challenge number 3 was to make a black and white card. I've been wanting to make a black and white card. It's been a long time since I've made very many of these, and I just love them. I think you could use almost any stamp set to make black and white cards, and they just turn out, they're so dramatic. They're just so different than an average card. So I used this Merry Hello stamp set this morning in my video, and we made this card. This challenge was to use up your paper scraps, and I had used this set just for the greetings, and it was still laying out here on my work surface when I was coming up with something to do for my black and white card. And I thought, well, hey, I'm going to make a black and white card with that same stamp set. So if you missed my video earlier, the Merry Hello set is our hostess set from our holiday catalog. So anytime you either gather a few orders, I can help you do an online party if you're interested, and you could get this for free. Or anytime you place a $150 order or more, you earn the hostess rewards yourself. And when you enter your Stampin' rewards, you can choose this set, you can choose the hostess sets from our annual catalog, or you can choose any other products that you want. But I just love this stocking set, so I decided, hey, why not make a black and white stocking card? So let me show you what we need. We need a piece of black for our card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5. I have that folded in half, and I embossed it with our winter snow embossing folder. I want to make sure you can see that. This is such a pretty embossing folder that I've been using a lot for holiday cards. This piece of white measures 3 1/8 by 5.5. Piece of black measures 3 by 5.5. And then I have a 2-inch circle punched out of our black glimmer paper. This is in our holiday catalog. A 1.5-inch circle punched out of white, and a little bit of our Snowflake Splendor ribbon. So let's go ahead and do our stamping first. We need to stamp the tag, and we are going to stamp the stockings with Versamark ink and use white embossing powder to emboss those. That's how we get that really bright white on the black. Let's do our tag first. I'm using my Memento black ink and this cute stamp that says a Merry Hello. I like that this stamp set has some cute little decorative stamps, one of which is this little evergreen branch. So I thought my tag looked a little plain, so we're going to decorate it with this little evergreen branch a little bit. That looks good. Now we are going to stamp and emboss these stockings. So I'm sure many of you have done heat embossing before. Some of you maybe have not. I did a video here not too long ago all about heat embossing and also about how to make an embossing buddy. So if you missed those and you're curious in learning more, make sure you look those up either in my Facebook group or on my YouTube channel. So this is my DIY embossing buddy. Some of you may have the real thing out there, the old one that we used to sell. And mine lets a little bit extra powder out than the purchase version that we used to sell. So I just brush it off, and it doesn't cling to the paper. That's the important part. I don't want those white smudges on the paper, but it doesn't cling to the paper, so that's not a problem. And now I am going to stamp. I'll do this little set of 3 stockings first, and I want to get the little string to touch the left side and the top side so that it looks like it's kind of strung all the way from the side up to the top. and out of view. And I realize you are not going to be able to see where I have stamped that. I can barely see where I've stamped that. But after we start our embossing, once I get that embossing powder out, then you'll be able to see what's happening here. So here I'm going to stamp the top of that stocking. And I'll go ahead and stamp a second one of those. Then I want to add the bottom of those stockings. This is a little tricky for me to see, especially with my camera right here above my head. So hopefully, I think these may overlap a touch, but if they do, that is okay. And a few more little stockings over here on the right side. Okay, now, if you haven't done embossing before, you're probably wondering what in the world is going on because you can't see anything. So I'll get out my coffee filter, and you can use a scrap piece of paper if you want. If you just need something to catch your embossing powder. So I'm using my white powder for this, and I'll sprinkle it over there, tap off the excess, do the same thing down here on this side. And that looks pretty good. I don't know if you can tell, there's just a little bit of white powder stuck here. So I always flip my project over, give it a little flick with my finger, and usually that solves that problem, gets rid of that powder. There is just a tiny bit left. I'm going to brush that off with my finger. And if you have any that's stuck close to your stamped images, you can get a little paintbrush and brush off areas with your paintbrush. So now I'm going to get my heat tool out, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this as the powder melts and gets heat set, but we will heat this up until all of that powder is melted and heat set. There it is starting to melt, if you can see that by chance. Okay, we have all of that melted. If you are trying this for the first time, you want to keep your heat tool on until it goes from that dull powdery finish to a glossy, shiny finish. So let's go ahead and we can start assembling this. I think we have everything ready, so we can just go ahead and put the card all together. When you do these, you want to let them cool down for a few seconds. Until they cool down, that powder could, or well, it's not powder anymore, but that surface could smear while it's still hot and melted. But it doesn't take very long at all for it to cool down. So we'll attach this to the piece of white. Do we have any animal lovers in the crowd? So if you've seen my craft room tour video, you know that my craft table is right in front of a big window. And right now, as I am making this video, one of our cats is outside being crazy. Pouncing on things that don't exist, I think. Okay, so I'll put this piece of black glimmer paper, which I just love this. I know when this comes out in our holiday catalog, a lot of times it's easy to think that this goes with Halloween, but I have already used this on more than one Christmas card, and it's just a really pretty addition to those projects too. So I'll put that circle on right there. Now, for my little ribbon swoosh, I've been doing this a lot lately, so maybe you've seen me do this before. I want to put some adhesive on right there on my glimmer paper, and I used tear and tape adhesive when I did the first one. I'm going to try my Seal Plus this time, and that's what I was wondering. We'll see if I can get it to stick. It doesn't want to pull off of there, so let's use some of my tear and tape again. So I'm just going to pull off a little strip of that, press it down, and see if I can get the paper backing off. And because this is glimmer paper, the tape doesn't want to stick quite as well as it would on a regular piece of cardstock. So working this paper backing off is a little trickier. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. There we go. So now I am just going to leave part of it hanging out over here. I'll press that down right there in the center to hold it in place. Loop it around. Press it down again there in the center. And loop another one back this way. Now I want to trim the end of that off. And we're ready to put our tag on top. I've talked a little bit about our different dimensionals. We have the white ones, and we also have the pack of black that I really like. The black ones are stickier, so especially for putting this onto the glimmer paper underneath, the black ones are perfect. Since we got that ribbon in there and the glimmer paper, you want a little bit of extra sticky there. So there we go. Aren't those cute? I just really like how this turned out. And then I'll show you what I stamped on the inside. I used the greeting that says, "May your season be filled with magic," and put a couple of little stockings on the inside as well. So thanks for watching along. If you haven't shared any of your projects yet from the challenges I've been posting today, I hope you will. I'll leave those challenges open until Monday. So anybody who shares projects for the challenges, or if you're just crafting from home this weekend and doing some other things, feel free to share pictures of those too. On Monday, I will draw for some winners for some fun prizes for joining in this weekend. So have a great day. I hope you have time to craft, and I will see you again next time.